should probably pull up the stream so I can actually see who's talking. That would have been smart to do. I didn't do that first. I didn't pull up the chat window, so I don't know who's actually asking me questions. Because I am an idiot. Don't actually... The way I am going to throw one of your squishmallows at you. I will. If you think for 1 second I won't do that. I'll do it. If you think for 1 second I will. I won't do that. Otherwise... Life is stressful.
Especially on Stanton
Anybody got
Island.
chance to any spare change? No, it's all good. Oh god, hi Kane.
Hello.
I am streaming right now.
Hooray.
Is that okay?
Are you on Stanton Island?
Staten.
That one.
Also, ooh. That movie was great and way more hardcore than I expected.
I know, right? It's so good. I'm so glad you liked it.
Didn't think the Krang would go full the thing on the situation.
I was not kidding. They went ridiculously hardcore. Also, just as a clarification for you, if you hear weird noises from me, they are pain noises.
Pain?
Yes.
Why are you in pain?
Because I have shingles.
Right, you mentioned that. How do you have shingles? You're not old enough for shingles to usually happen.
I don't know. Apparently I do.
Because God hates you. Okay, got it.
Oh, trust me. If I were capable of throwing my body into a volcano, I would. I hate this thing so much.
Anyway, sorry, this is a Q&A stream, so let's see. How's life? Yeah, okay, I already answered that. What's my favorite fallen flag railroad? Darkness the Curse. Chicago Northwestern. Chicago Northwestern is still one of my favorite railroads. Anyway, I am sorry that your existence is pain, Kane.
Hopefully I will get better.
Currently, instead of being Kate Sith, you are but the Moogle he rides.
Yes. This is very true.
So my girlfriend got a Switch today.
Nice.
And by got, I mean she paid for it, but I had to get a loan for her through my credit.
Gotcha.
One of those weird situations, but I think I trust her well enough to know that she won't completely screw me over.
Yeah.
Because I can't pay for anything right now. I got
Understandable.
so many bills. Well, not a lot of bills. It's just I still got to pay for my car, which is then I got to pay for rent and my child support, and it's like, God help me. I'm not as bad as I usually am by this point, but the problem is I can't Uber.
Yeah.
So all I have is this, so here I am. Anyway, but so your existence is pain.
Is.
Anything happy to report, Kay?
Well, I'm
No.
still very entertained at the fact that I own a PC copy of Mega Man X. That's just fun. I love that.
I still didn't know that was a thing.
Every
still...
Mega Man X game got a PC release.
Every single one.
Yes.
Really?
I think even a lot. I even think some of the classic games might have gotten PC releases.
Well, I know the original got the DOS version, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, especially since that wasn't a port. That was like its own thing.
Oh, it's all good, 8-Ball. You don't worry. I'm just venting. You ain't gotta worry about that. That donation button is purely an option. Always has been, always will be. I do not get mad or sit here and like some of these dudes on TikTok that my girlfriend watches that are just like, please send your money now, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
The only donation that History in the Dark requires is your continued support and watching of videos, because they are educational and fun and cool is the only requirement.
You gonna calm down there, Kane? You're really overselling me a little bit. I appreciate it, but I'm just like, I am not that good at my job.
I definitely think you make good content for certain.
You've thought since I've talked about video games, and nobody likes my video game stuff anymore.
I do like all of your content, even if I have fallen really far behind on a lot of things.
Although lately I've been wondering, I'm like, am I contractually obligated to cover Sonic Frontier?
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah, I know. I know that, but I'm just like in my head. I'm like, should I? Should I not?
It could be your chance to kind of break the cycle a little bit if you wanted.
It wasn't even that. It's more like, you know, it's more like one of those things where it's like I don't. It's not that I wanted, like, my old fans. Some of them aren't into the history stuff, and I'm like, I don't want them to think that I don't appreciate them. You know, because a lot of them supported me for a long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could be like, look, this isn't going to be a regular thing, but I know you guys like it when I talk about Sonic.
Yeah.
So here's what my take on the new game. You know, that was the only thing I was thinking, but it's going to... First of all, I have to be able to afford the game, which God knows. But then there's also the issue of recording it and all that, and I'm like, I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about.
Understandable. Well, you see, I will have to review Sonic Frontiers.
No.
I will be the newest Sonic the Hedgehog content creator, because I'm the
You know
biggest fan
damn well
of
you don't want to have
Sonic.
anything to do with anybody on YouTube.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. You do not want to deal with the nonsense on display. Like, that is not something you... You know, the worst part, honestly, I still think you might be alright. Like, just because... Here's my thinking. Like in terms of your techie stuff, like, I don't think you would have that bad of a time with that. Because, first of all, you know your stuff. And I know you know your stuff. And second of all, it's a different base. Because, like, when I started doing history stuff, I realized, wow, it wasn't YouTube. It was just that gamers suck.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It wasn't YouTube in general. It was just gamers who were just like, how dare you insult this game?
Yeah.
You know, so I would almost have to say that perhaps the techie stuff, especially given you already are knowledgeable on it, maybe you wouldn't have a bad time and could actually have fun with that and even make some money off of it. I don't know. It's just a thought. You were doing those short builds for a little bit.
Yeah. I was considering trying to do some more of those recently because there are several videos that I've really wanted to do talking about certain things, and it would be fun to do that. I just have to sit down and, you know, record it and do it and write it and stuff like that. Not in that order. That would be a weird order. But yeah. In fact, I think it was exactly the reverse order that should go in. But yeah, there are things I've considered just kind of messing around with for just for the fun of it.
Yeah, it was just a thought. You can do whatever you want. Right now, I would sit there and pretend like my skin isn't on fire.
Yup. Quick, I need a water type to counter this. Oh god, what was the stupid weakness from Origins?
Hi, SP Rail fan.
Or in the stupidly weird logic of Spectrobes, I need a grass type to counter fire.
Yes. I see
I think
no reason why that doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I read that backwards. I read that backwards. It is water. It was a very small image, so like the arrows were reversed when I was looking at it, and then I opened the image and like, oh no, I'm dumb. the one that the one that always confused me is like ice is considered water, which makes sense.
It does make sense.
But I was shocked at the fact, because again, I was still in Pokemon logic at the time. I got stuck on a boss fight in Spectrobes Origins for years. It was the giant ice boss, because I was training up a bunch of fire Spectrobes in order to attack the ice monster. No one would fault me for that. I think under any normal circumstances, no one would fault me for this action. But no, I needed electricity Spectrobes in order to counter the ice Spectrobe. Which also makes sense. Both are water, understandable. But it just did not click with me that I was doing it wrong for so many years.
That's fair.
It hurt.
This is not the same park as last night. This is a different one. This game is called Jurassic World Evolution 2.
All these new people, but you're about to embark on a life-changing adventure. Certainly was for me.
No, not that.
Trust me,
That's just
you'll
Kane
understand.
making up nonsense again.
Indeed.
That's 90% of what he does, really, to be honest.
Talk about the
I do that a lot.
And
You do that a lot.
No, this is the Chasmosaurus.
But yeah, what hurt the worst about that fight is the Nintendo Wii. I love your Nintendo Wii, but
This is a dinosaur
dang
that
it.
says, "Look at me."
if the game is Nintendo Wi-Fi connection enabled, the game saves on the Wii are protected and permanently stored on the console that it's on.
Okay,
So
when you phrase it that way, it sounds good.
yeah, the issue is that I was playing on my brother's Wii, so when I got my own, I had to start over completely.
I mean, yeah.
I get the idea, Nintendo. I do. And I'm not necessarily going to complain about the idea here. My issue is that you are protecting your save file in the same way that Diablo 3 protects its online, and no one cares about that. Like, you're not stopping people from doing anything.
You're keeping an eye on the dinosaurs. I'll be
or
keeping an eye on
not
you.
Diablo 3. What am I thinking of?
I'm gonna say, what are you talking about with Diablo 3 now? What's happening?
The Diplodocus was once considered
No,
the longest animal that ever lived. And
Oh
now,
no! It was
thanks
the
to
other.
our
It was the
extensive
other
research,
controversial,
it's
always
back.
online one. It
My
was
task is to make sure
Sim
we
City.
learn everything we can about this dinosaur. Your task
Because
is
the
making
game
sure
was
these
essentially a
magnificent
full
creatures can
offline
survive in the
experience.
modern world.
But you needed to be online to access the offline. And due to the fact that the servers were in such bad shape at launch, people couldn't even play the offline content, let alone the online stuff.
Right.
And the only reason they did that is, we wanted to stop piracy! It's like, okay,
They wanted to stop piracy.
clearly the fact that you people think that shows how dumb you are. and
You have a dinosaur request, Ankylosaurus? I can add an Ankylosaurus to this area. That'd be fine.
I would call it an Kylo Ren.
Actually, it's funny you want an Ankylosaurus, because today my girlfriend, she wanted, on one of her little excursions to Target, she brought me a little Ankylosaur.
Aww,
It makes sounds.
that's awesome. Oh,
So here you go. There's your ankylosaur.
Unrelated, by the way, but I was digging through a bunch of boxes because I'm making progress on cleaning my room again.
Uh
And I
huh.
actually found disc 1 of Medal of Honor Rising Sun. I actually still had that laying around, and I had no idea. What hurt worse about that boss fight is that I was stuck on that for months and I couldn't win. I just didn't realize I was being dumb. I beat it on my first try on the second file when I realized my stupid mistake. I was so mad about it.
You fool.
And then I had to start again because I transferred all my stuff to the Wii U, and I don't play my Wii U, so...
Can I name the ankylosaur Bob? Sure.
Without Dr. Henry Wu, none of this would exist. He has that drive and intensity.
I like the
you
Wii
people
U. I
possess.
still think it
My advice?
was kind of
Don't get
abandoned.
on his bad side.
My big issue with the Wii U is that
Ah, here we go.
it still needed another year or two in development to actually, like, not have the issues that it had. Because the Wii U is, in itself, not a bad console. It's pretty capable. And, it had a lot of cool ideas, but that gamepad is the worst design thing that they could have possibly included in the way that they included it. The gamepad is cool and awesome. It does a lot of cool stuff. Nintendo Land, I still think, is an awesomely wonderful, overlooked game. But the fact that it is required for base level operation, and the fact that I just now discovered recently that gamepads are region locked.
What?
Hey,
Why?
Nintendo, suck every single wang. You terrible company. The Wii U is a console that is killed by death of 1,000 cuts.
I still liked it.
I also like it. It's just terrible.
I mean, I play my 3DS. There's some great regular DS games, though. I still have my DS somewhere around here. I actually have two of them around here.
I definitely think one of the biggest saving graces for the Wii U, and one of the reasons why I transferred my stuff to it, is the fact that it is two consoles in one. Like, you have access to all of the Wii games on there, which is great. I still think it's really stupid that they removed GameCube backwards compatibility, though. Because I feel like that if you can natively run Wii games, I feel like you can natively run GameCube too. Like, maybe they did change something hardware-wise that wouldn't be a thing, but I doubt it. Like, the Wii and Wii U are not that different architecturally.
You're not that different.
Oh, excuse me.
There's no excuse for you.
Also, as a side note, within the next few months here, I'm very happy to say that I'm probably going to be getting rid of about 3 or 4 ancient computers out of my house. Yay, for more space. Ah! Fuck off!
You okay there?
Yeah, it's going away a little bit. God, it sucks so much.
I thought shingles... Did you have chicken pox?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I got the chicken pox vaccination, so...
But I had that. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to check up and see what I have and don't have, because I've been told that it's common enough where, like, you get vaccinated for that, but...
Hit the power button.
At this point, I don't even know. Like, it was so, like, it had to have at least been, like, 20 plus years since I, like, had it, I guess. I don't know. Probably more than that.
Hmm? I'm kind of hungry. I don't know, we don't have much. No. Give me a Pop-Tart. Strawberry Pop-Tart, yeah. Thank you. Yes. Sorry, Kay, go ahead.
Brain is good at technology, not anything else. But yeah, very excited to get a lot of stuff out of the house. I've been making a lot of good progress on cleaning, which I freaking needed to do.
You will make no progress.
How dare the god of cleaning forsakes me.
You use a 3DS to record trains? What's wrong with your phone? There's no way if you have a modern phone that it's worse that it's worse than a 3DS. The 3DS's camera is like 10 years old now.
3DS camera's not very good either. The only benefit is recording in 3D, but
That's true. We could do that. That's true. That's like the one thing where I'm like, I forgot about that functionality. That was really cool.
yeah.
Okay, you have a decorative suggestion, Johnny Doe. Go nuts. Go nuts. An active chat is good for the algorithm.
He demands that the trains be turned into Thomas the Tank Engine characters.
I'm playing Jurassic World Evolution 2. There's no trains here.
There will be... Or no, it would just be a Skyrim thing, wouldn't it? Just do a Skyrim thing and mod all of the dinosaurs as different train models.
That would be bizarre at best.
Yes, it would be very bizarre.
Man, you want a lot of things, Johnny Doe. I don't know if I'll do any of that. But I'll think about it.
Number 1, give all the dinosaurs wings to make them dragons. Number 2, add Hiccup and Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon. 3, never forget that dragons breathe fire. I have no idea where I was going with that.
Say thank you for that.
Oh.
Thank you.
It's almost October.
Commencing asset transit.
Almost time for spookiness. Josh, what will you play for your Halloween special?
I don't know. Maybe we can play some Phasmophobia.
Not a bad option, that's for sure. Been a while since. Oh, yo, Phasmophobia had a huge update, kind of recently. So like that was
Oh,
really
yeah?
cooler. Yeah, they completely redid the garage, I guess. Apparently
Do they-
there's a new game mode.
Assets in the air.
Let's see here.
Decoration.
Transportation complete.
While the parks have become famous for dinosaurs, it's not quite the way we want. Hopefully, working together, we can change that. Sorry, I meant to introduce myself. George Lambert, security specialist. Our challenges are many, so let's not waste any time. What can be said about the Triceratops? This is one of those dinosaurs that really defines our business. People want to see them, and we want to share them with the world. Don't let that fearsome appearance fool you.
They don't really have
Those horns are
tiki
mostly
torches
for
in the sense of what
and
you're
we're
looking
pressing on
for.
the Triceratops.
Yeah,
This
these.
animal is an
Oh,
artifact.
that's beautiful. That's great. I didn't know about that. There's a
Or
custom
security
difficulty
mark if it
option now.
turns those horns on our fencing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds nice.
indeed. A new difficulty where you can create your own games. Mostly existing difficulties or create your own, come up with crazy challenges, or just have fun.
Thank you. This is Jurassic World Evolution 2.
They have Sunny Meadows Mental Institution, which is a new map. Did you play in the camp in the campsite?
I am not playing Sonic 06, Johnny Doe. You get out of here. I don't do that. We don't do that here anymore. Okay? We don't do that here anymore. Ever. Again, that is no place in my life now.
But he will play the Sonic.exe version of Sonic 06.
Witness how I'm going to destroy you, Kane.
Yeah, but do you know about its name? Like it's a really clever name.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic 0666. Heyo!
Yeah, hon. My girlfriend says hi, Kane. Also die.
I did not say that part.
No, I said that part. She didn't say the die part.
Oh, I know.
He knows.
Okay. Actually, stick up for you on Airbnb.
Oh,
I have heard
no.
of the tornado, by the way. I
Josh,
don't know much about it though.
you could create loadouts. I don't know what that means, but you can make loadouts. That was one of my biggest suggestions, was making loadouts.
Have to gather everything every time you.
Crossing fingers, majorly crossing fingers, that would be so good. Yo, oh my god, this is insane. The amount of like fixes and stuff is crazy. Like a lot of things were added, a lot of things were. It's called the Apocalypse update.
Edgy.
Yeah. And that was September 27th. So that was. It was today. Okay. It just came out literally today. In that case, I'm kind of glad we haven't played in a while. That means we're going to have a boatload of content and fixes to make things feel better. That's always good.
Are we in North America?
Yeah.
Asset transportation in progress.
My girlfriend just asked me if we were in North America.
Um.
We're in Asia.
I think that was the most burning one yet. Ooh.
Delivery has been completed.
Most of the time, it's just like a pain. That one felt like a burn.
Nice, Carnotaurus. You could recognize this predator immediately by the horns on its head, which give it a real rock and roll appearance. Those powerful legs can get this dinosaur moving as well, so probably best to stay out of its way. This dinosaur is so metal.
Asset transportation complete. Asset transportation underway.
Still wish EA would make Anthem free to play.
I don't know if they really care about it anymore.
I don't think they do either.
Asset has been
It
delivered.
would be about the only way anyone would be willing to play it outside of people like me who actually like the game.
I have repeatedly stated to you that is the only way you'll get me to play that.
I know. Because God forbid people want to play any games that don't involve the letters F, P, and S.
I'm not even sure that was really the issue people had.
No, it wasn't. I still blame FPS for everything. And I mean, in Anthem's case, I absolutely fairly do, because all anyone ever does is talk about Destiny, which is not even remotely that similar. So, you know, screw Destiny.
Wow, you're really mad.
Yes. Makes me even more mad just simply because, like, what is EA gaining from keeping that game as a paid title?
I don't know, you have to ask them. What are they gaining by screwing over the Battlefield series? How about that? We talk about that?
I mean, I agree with you, but I feel like that those Battlefield games, even if they're, quote, bad games, they're still more functional than Anthem is.
Dinosaurs were not cold-blooded. There is significant evidence that they definitely lived in colder environments. Fun fact of the day. So
The
seeing
only thing
dinosaurs in the snow, totally reasonable.
Haha.
Oh my god! I never saw that animation before.
What now?
When the Carnotaurus hunts a goat, it charges from behind and, like, rams it up in the air and catches it. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
I mean, they have horns at their head, and it's thought they might have used them for that, but it was... I'd never seen them actually do it.
That's great.
Heading to collect the asset.
Carjorodontus? I know what you're trying to say, and yes, I can make one of those. I can do anything. I have the power of genetic engineering.
With science, of course.
You know, we talk about the hybrid in Jurassic World, right? You know, the Indominus. You know what? They bred Dominus as a weapon and everything, and I get that. But here's my thing. You cowards. You had the means and potential to create a literal dragon, and you didn't do it. You cowards! Stegoceratops, I think, is in this game. I never unlocked it, though. It's hard to get.
This is the Albertosaurus, so named because it was first discovered in the Canadian province of Alberta. This animal is a smart predator that relies on its rows of sharp teeth. They exhibit pack behavior, which is very exciting to witness, as long as you're doing so from a safe distance.
Confirming asset delivery. Asset in transit. Asset transported.
So, Josh, just a side note. Can we talk just for a second about right after Leo grabs the key and Raph jumps in?
Yo. That was real.
That and immediately after, like how when Leo is ejected from the pod, the way that they handle the sound is just brilliant. That movie,
it was a damn good movie. Like,
Yeah.
I was genuinely impressed. I was like, it was a good movie. Like, it's probably the best Ninja Turtles movie since the original live action one.
yeah, really freaking good. Just oh my god. And I love how they designed the Krang as well in the movie, because like it was such a good update to the original.
Also, the Technodrome.
Yup.
I was like, I know what that is. This is a little bit different, though.
Asset to be collected.
The other scene that gets me really hard is the one with Mikey. just how well they handled the absolute soul-crushing realization of what Leo just did.
Yeah.
Like, that was... Everything about that scene was so well made. Just absolutely excellent.
Oh, what's the full title, Kane, for the movie? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just the movie.
I think it's just called Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. If you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I highly recommend it. It was a really good movie.
Yeah. Definitely an excellent film. It is a direct follow-up to the series itself. It's standalone enough where I don't think it's needed, but it will help you understand a lot of the context and the dynamic of the group better. Knowing...
I think the only thing that threw me, that I had to remind myself about, because I only read about it, so I knew about it, but I was like, oh, right, is that in this continuity, all the turtles are actually different species.
Yep.
So, like, Donnie has that soft shell issue.
Yeah.
Which, I was like, oh, wait, right. I knew about that, so it was fine.
I think the cool thing about that, though, is that all of the turtles are so uniquely designed that I think it's relatively easy to roll with the idea that they're all based on different turtles. Because, like, they each have... Because, like Mikey has the little painted the painted patches on him. Raph has like the spiny shell. So, like, they all have different unique aspects about them, which I think is really cool. And as you mentioned, Donnie has the soft shell.
Delivery has been completed.
I love Donatello in that series, by the way. He's so great. All of Season 1 of the Rise series is on Netflix, so it's pretty accessible for that. Sadly, Season 2 is not. I bought it on Amazon strictly so I could finish it. I binged watched it so hard.
Maybe you should watch it on Nickelodeon.
It wasn't on TV when I started watching it. Does Nickelodeon have its own streaming service?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And I don't know if there's like a good version of it that's not just. I think they probably removed the scene most of the time online, but like, I don't think it's hard to say that one of the final fights in Rise of the TMNT is, of course, versus the Shredder. It's TMNT. It's kind of like saying that you fight Bowser in a Mario game is a spoiler. Like.
There was one thing about the movie. I don't know what happened to Shredder at the end of the series.
Oh yeah.
But the one thing about the movie that I wish they would have done was bring Shredder back, but have him help defeat Krang, because Krang is obviously horrible.
I know what happens to Shredder at the end of the series, and I do not believe that he could come back.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
It is. I will say though, it is one of those things that if he did come back, I will tell you that is what would have happened. I love the way that they handled Shredder in Rise of the TMNT. It was so cool.
Meanwhile, in the 1980s, I've created a giggle ray. That will help stop the turtle's sake. Excellent, Krang. Deploy it immediately, and soon we will bring the Technodrome above the surface again.
And then about 25 years later, this AI computer program, Xana, will do the same thing and try and take out the main heroes by making them laugh.
Pick up the asset.
Did Xana really do that?
Yes. Yes, he did. He possessed a bunch of laughing gas and tried to kill the Leoka warriors by making them laugh.
I don't know what I expected. It's one of those things where I'm like, that does it's not something where I'm like, I don't believe that. I just wish I could deny that was the case, because there were some, like Code Lyoko, for how serious it sometimes was, could get really silly.
Sometimes, absolutely.
I mean, the first episode was a giant teddy bear.
Yep. And then the second episode was oh god, hang on, I can't remember. Was episode 2 the... I think episode 2 is the one where Xana tries to blow up a power plant. Yes.
Yeah, see, that's way more critical.
Yeah. It's so critical that they have a moral argument of we need to tell the police about this.
Okay. What we have here is a Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, it like
It has
Code
long
Lyoko.
limbs relative to the
Code
rest of its
Lyoko was
body.
very
And what makes it really unique?
interesting.
All over the place.
It was pretty all over the place.
I
It's
mean,
pretty accurate.
how amazing is it that in
I think
bringing
season
these
1
dinosaurs
was
back,
a
we're
bit
also
more
learning
all
so
over the
much
place
about them.
as compared to 2, 3, and 4. They were pretty consistent in terms of stakes being relatively serious. Because they actually started telling the story.
The hybrids I can make are currently the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor.
Asset has been transformed.
Follow up, what was I about to say? I forget what I was about. Oh yeah, to be fair, I think the original cartoon for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was actually about the same. Where like there were some episodes that could get pretty serious.
Yep.
Where like Shredder and Krang were doing something like legitimately, oh god. And then there were other episodes.
Yeah.
Like the bank robber who ate dog biscuits. Mind you, he was not a dog. He was not a mutant either. He was just a guy that happened to look like a bulldog a little bit, and he ate dog biscuits. That was his whole thing.
Yeah.
I think he was called Mad Dog something. I forget. Really bad episode.
Yep.
Just such a dumb episode.
Yeah, and like the show is so old that a lot of that silliness is, unless you like know about it and watch it, you don't remember them very much. So it's like I completely forgot that the original series had episodes like either of that.
Because I mean, like some episodes of the of the Turtles, like there was the one where it's like, far from it. Tonight I dine on turtle soup. Because Shredder was gonna demutate them.
Yeah.
And eat them. And it's like, that's actually horrifying.
Oh. I don't know if this is specifically a Mass Effect thing, as a side note for this, but like in the Rise of the TMNT show, there's a musical number that I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh, so this is just Morton Solus. But I think there is the potential that even like that part in Mass Effect might have been a reference to something. But that was my first thought. I'm like, oh, this is just the song that Mordin sings in Mass Effect 2.
Scientists hilarious.
There were a couple of episodes of the new series that I didn't like though. There's an episode called Pizza Puffs, and I think it is the worst episode of Rise of the TMNT. And it's because no one acts in character at all. It feels like an episode. It feels like an episode that was the most forcefully trying to put in a message of some kind, and it's just like we could have done without this entire episode. I think this is the worst episode of the series.
It's called Pizza Puffs.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad episode. The only meaningful information that you get out of it is meat sweats being taken. That's the only thing you need to know about that episode is meat sweats gets taken. Pod Scouts is kind of like that too, where it's like they're forcing in some kind of plot convenient thing. The plot convenience in that episode is the turtles are obsessed with using their phones, despite the fact that they have never shown an obsession with their phones before. Not even Donnie is obsessed with his phone in the way that they show in this episode.
Oh, it's one of those episodes.
Yeah, both that and Pizza Puffs are like that.
What are they obsessed with in Pizza Puffs?
Pizza Puffs. So what happened is
Pizza Puffs. Okay.
None of the other turtles are taking crime fighting seriously in this episode. So Raph is the only one going out and doing things. And he finds out that Meat Sweats is making Pizza Puffs to try and poison his competition.
Hit the home button.
The restaurants that are in competition with him. And Raph takes them, writes, "Do not eat," because, you know, he's gonna dispose of them because it's like a mutating poison. And the turtles flat out ignore that, and then they all start eating them, and then they all start mutating and stuff, and it's like, they wouldn't do that. This is dumb.
I'm sorry, what's the moral lesson here? Don't eat poison?
I didn't think we needed a cartoon show about turtles to tell us that, but I guess.
I think that the phone thing I kind of get, like, in terms of trying to steer kids away from the screen time issue while they're watching a cartoon probably on their phones. But anyway,
I think the thing is I can let that one slide a little bit more because at least yes, it does have an important message in it. Pizza Puffs does not have any of that. It has Meat Sweats getting kidnapped. That's it.
Ooh, there's
And by the way, speaking of the villains for a hot second, can I talk about how Hypnopotamus is my favorite villain in the entirety of Rise? I love him. He's not in the movie for very much, but you kind of heard him talk a little bit in there, right?
Yeah.
I love him. I love him. He is hilarious. Him and Warren Stone together are just so funny. They actually become roommates in the series, and it's really funny. But yeah, it's 2 episodes that I really didn't like. There was another one that had a bit of that as well that I just don't remember right offhand, but not a lot of episodes that I would consider not worth watching.
This game does not have Sarcosuchus. The only synapsid in the game is Dimetrodon. That's the only one.
Asset transportation underway.
So Josh, remind me for a hot second. Did Warren Stone, like the earthworm guy, did he ever get cut in half in the movie?
Asset has been
I don't think so.
So, he's a character that I'm kind of surprised that they got away with as much as they did in the show, because he is constantly cut in half. Because earthworms grow back.
Right.
So, he's just constantly cut in half.
No, I mean, I get it, but also, yo.
And they don't steer away from showing it either. Like, it's obviously not bloody or gory by any means, but, like, they show it. And I'm like, how did you get away with that?
Nathan Mormon, my favorite locomotive would be the SP Rail fan saying, don't you dare speak for me. The Pennsylvania Railroad T1. I do like the S2. It's kind of a second. And I kind of like Dash 8s, even though the wide cab General Electrics I think look really, really nice.
picking up asset. Asset to be collected.
Well, I'm glad you recommended the movie, Kane, because I was like, that was really good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it too. I'm so happy about that. It's such a cool movie. Oh, ow.
You know what? I just thought of something. Yo, okay. You know what's amazing? You know what? This just dawned on me, and I'm like, oh my god, I could do that though.
What?
I can bridge the gap between us talking about TMNT and trains
Oh my god, do it.
because I can review TMNT Operation Blue Line.
Oh my god.
You are familiar with that, right?
A little bit, yeah.
I forgot it existed until a moment ago. I'm like, wait a minute.
Transportation.
TMNT has dealt with trains before. Los Angeles' Blue Line. They somehow got the rights to make a video to try to get young kids interested in the new public transportation system, and it's a bunch of really bad TMNT costumes running around trying to stop I think the villain's name is Gridlock, who's trying to stop people from finding out about the new blue line.
Oh my god.
And and amazingly, this is because I watched Phalis cover it once, and he pointed this out. I'm like, I had no idea that was the case. They got the voice actors from the cartoon to do the dub for the blue line.
Chance to meet Isaac.
Wow.
Which threw me off. I was like, you got them to do that? How much did you pay them for this nonsense? It's a...
They need to be understood. And if people enjoy their time with the dinosaurs, they're more likely to support our cause.
Okay, this is amazing.
April O'Neil's doing like a 8-report story
Yeah,
on the blue line.
that's crazy right there.
Which is really weird, like, because this is set in LA, the turtles live in New York.
Thoughts to be a scavenger, but now, with live animals to study, we can find out
Oh,
for sure.
that's a good point.
Commencing asset transit.
Phalis' coverage of it was really funny, but I think because I can talk about the train aspect, I think that would be relevant. Because every time I've actually had someone once come to me who lives in LA. He wants to, can you talk about our blue line? Our transportation network's really good. And the problem now is every time I hear the LA blue line, all I can think of is the freaking turtle.
Yeah.
Because the stupid. But you know, props to them for trying. You know, TMNT was huge in the early '90s when they made that.
Yeah.
And and apparently they gave it out for free. At like grocery stores and stuff, and they had 2 different versions of it. One was in English and one was in Spanish, to try to get as many people, you know, notified about it, or really as many kids to sit down and watch it. Because the idea was the kids would see this, see the turtles, and be like, "Mommy, mommy, can we ride the train now?" And you know, given the blue line is still a thing, I think it actually might have kind of worked.
I mean, I'm down for this.
Like as stupid as the whole thing is because of the outfits and the writing and everything. Like it's a dumb watch, but it's almost entertaining in that way. And the point, and that wasn't really the point. It was just getting people to know about the new line. And like, I'd be for more marketing like that. Like, that's not a bad idea.
They can even change the theme song. Teenage Mutant Blue Line Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, they go to their LA hideout in the movie, and it's like, you guys have an LA hideout? Where?
Of course.
But yeah, it just dawned on me. I was just like, oh my god, I can bridge this weird gap we're having right now. I'm just like, wait a minute, I can relate this back to trains.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles already did that for me. There was another one that was done with the Turtles too. That wasn't train related. It was I forget which branch, but it was it was like the government branch responsible for like preserving national parks and stuff. The National Park Service.
Yeah.
They did one with the Turtles to try to educate kids about preserving national parks and stuff. And I think they used the costumes from the concert tour for that.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember those.
opinion on the GG1s. GG1s are great. GG1s are legendary. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, the National Park one's way more obscure. Then there's the Turtles Christmas musical that was also done with the concert outfits. It was a videotape, and the whole thing is about them forgetting to buy a present for Splinter. Because they're idiots, and they sing their way into New York trying to find... It's really bad.
Oh my god! I forgot that they did that! They used that! They used that as one of the episodes for Rise, that they have to get a gift for Splinter.
Gotta get a gift for Splinter. He's the last one on our list. He's the only one we missed. How did you miss Splinter? He's your dad.
Well, okay, it's half and half. They want to buy him a gift because his robe is like ripping really badly, and it's just in rough shape. So they want to buy him a new one.
Oh, that's sweet though.
Yeah. They have ulterior motives in the episode for doing so, which I won't spoil because it is hilarious.
Asset collection request received.
They got away with some really funny stuff in Rise of the TMNT, I think.
What are my thoughts on the new Caltrain EMU trains? I am not familiar with them, so I can't tell you.
Transporting asset.
Then there was TMNT, the next mutation.
I barely remembered that.
That was the TV show done by Saban.
Yeah.
Same. It's admittedly, like, you can tell they do Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
It was done in a similar style, and that wasn't really the problem. The problem was the writing.
Yep.
And apparently there's a conspiracy about that.
Oh no.
Some people think that Saban intentionally, because they were contracted to do it, right?
Yeah.
Some people think they actually intentionally dumpstered the show so it wouldn't hurt the ratings of Power Rangers.
Seems.
Now that could just be massive copium, given how bad the show turned out to be.
Yeah.
It could have just been. It could have just been they were inept.
Yep.
But
This dinosaur has
I mean, they wrote Power Rangers, so I mean.
and a disposition that isn't that far off either. Super and small prey. Let's make sure it doesn't expand its diet into two-legged animals wearing collector T-shirts.
I think the other thing to keep in mind as well for that is, I mean, Saban did do Power Rangers, but we don't know if it's the same team who actually like wrote and produced Power Rangers.
Right.
Because like Saban is a decently sized company, so they probably have different teams for different things.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it's just one of those theories, but it could just be, no, the show was just turned out bad. That's just what it was.
I think that's probably the more logical thing that happened with it, is that it was just a bad show.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, they were in the similar time slots. Kids probably would have wound up watching both anyway.
Yeah,
It wasn't like they were on different stations or something.
exactly.
And it did come out during the time when Turtles were getting gradually sillier and stupider.
Yeah.
Because it was post the concert, both concert tours. And the first concert was apparently not that bad. The second one was just ridiculous.
What year was that show? TMNT. What was it?
Late
called again?
90s, I think.
The Next Mutation.
97?
Yep, 97.
Ooh, nailed it.
Hell yeah. After that, it was the 03 series, which is hands down one of the best TMNT you can watch.
Yeah, that was a solid reboot. That was a solid reboot. They took it seriously again. Like that was back. That was good. They did that well.
I have a soft spot for the 2007 CGI movie.
A lot of core fans seem to think that movie was all right. Like it wasn't like amazing, but it was pretty decent.
Yeah. Like when it came out though, like everyone dogged on it really hard. Like no one liked it when it came out.
Well, I think that was because well, first of all, it was the first time did CGI. Second of all, that was during the mid 2000s, late 2000s. If it's CGI, it's terrible. That's the law. Era.
That still happens, but it's died
It
down.
was way friggin' worse, man.
I agree.
Like it was awful back then. You couldn't get anyone to shut up about CGI.
Yeah. It's so much worse that it still happens too. Like, oh my god, come
Those
on,
are my
guys.
games.
Get over it.
One's Fire Emblem Three Houses and one's Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. You're looking for another game to play. Kirby's in his Switch. Sorry, my girlfriend's looking for another game to play on her new Nintendo Switch. Kirby Star Allies. It's a side scroller, I think. It's you ever played Mario? It's like that. It's fun. Why, are you getting bored of Animal Crossing already? Now you're tired. You got a brand new Switch, now she's tired. A true gamer would stay up all night playing the game. Getting to 100%.
Come on, play Mega Man.
Mega Man. I did buy Mega Man 11 for Jack. It's on his Switch. I don't think he's ever played it though.
I do quite like Mega Man 11. Very good game. God, it hurts.
Jingles.
Yep.
Did you see the doctor?
Yeah, I've got medicine that I'm taking every 8 hours.
That's fun.
Yep.
How long they
Almost
say
on-
that say you were gonna be like this?
Uh?
How long did they say you were gonna be like this?
They told me 10 days.
Aye. That could be worse.
Yep.
Could be better, but it could be worse.
Yeah. You know what the worst part is about the medication? First and foremost, it's disgusting.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Secondly, I almost vomit every time. And thirdly, not even a full can of Sprite is able to wash down the taste.
Suffer.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. Curse you, stupid body and diseases that should have been gone years ago.
Well, shingles is a little bit different.
Yeah. It is in, like, the same kind of family as chicken pox, but...
The rule is that if you got chickenpox, then you already technically have shingles, but whether or not you'll ever be symptomatic is another story.
Yeah. And
Obviously,
sadly,
like I said, yours is really early onset. Usually shingles doesn't show till you're like 50 years old, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've never heard of someone as young as you getting that shit.
Yeah, it's weird. I shouldn't be getting it, but here we are. And I mean, I guess it's a possibility that they're wrong, but like, they looked at it and went, that's shingles, and I'm like, oh. If you're that confident.
I mean, I would say that they're right. I'm not saying it can't happen to you. I'm just saying it's really rare.
Exactly. Like it's one of those things. It would be like someone looking at the red ring of death and going, "Yep, that's the red ring of death," and you just look at that and go, "Yeah, you're probably right." like the yellow light. Someone looks at the yellow light and go on the PS3 and goes, "Replace your hard drive," and then they do that and it's fine. Stop it.
So does the pain come in like waves?
Yeah, pretty much. It just kind of like randomly happens. Sometimes it'll be if like my shirt rubs against it. Currently it is halfway off to avoid that. Even just like air moving past it can cause it sometimes. It sucks. Really sensitive.
Should you put your camera on train tracks? No. No. Why would you ever do that? That's a terrible question.
I mean, you can, but you probably shouldn't.
Do not do that.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not a good idea. Like, there's nothing stopping you from doing it, but...
By the way, there's a donation link in the description. Quick, click on it.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
Kane goes and clicks on it. What do I do now? You alright?
Yep. I think I might, I think I might see about an ice pack, maybe, because I've heard that, putting something cold on it can reduce the pain, but I'm not 100% sure, and I want to double check that.
Collecting asset.
I mean, generally cold compresses can help with certain pain. I don't know, I just don't know how that would relate to shingles in particular.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm like, I mean, that, I could see that working, but...
I've been told not to get it wet, which, considering...
How do you get a shower then?
I'm pretty much in that same boat where I'm like, oh, cool, so don't shower.
This dinosaur is
God,
something
you freaking...
Seriously, look at the size of this thing.
How to soothe shingles rash at home.
This thing
Take
is
a
the
soothing
largest
bath or
animal
shower.
to ever walk the earth. And now, thanks to the
But I was told to
wonders
not
of
get it
genetic
wet.
engineering, it's doing just that again.
Apply a cold compress.
I was just like, why do I hear Kirby? And I'm like, oh, my girlfriend's playing Kirby. That'll do it. That exact thing, yes.
I wish I could have stuck with Kirby, because I played it growing up, but I think for me, I just have a very specific interest in platformers. I need something a bit more engaging than like what 2D Mario and 2D Sonic usually have.
Asset transported.
Because like one of my favorite platformers is Klonoa, so like just having that extra level of mechanics is really helpful for me staying engaged with the game.
I mean, Kirby does have the power stealing thing.
Definitely.
He eats people.
It is still a bit more on the simple side. I
Well,
would
it
definitely...
was. Well, to be fair, it's meant to be.
Oh, absolutely. And I still play the original Kirby every so often. I've got the NES cartridge. But yeah, like I definitely like having a bit more to my platformers.
Can I scream? I mean, I can scream. Will I? No, because it's 12 a.m. here and I am not waking my neighbors thinking someone's getting murdered down here.
Do it.
No! You want me to scream? Why do you want me to scream? It wouldn't be funny.
Don't worry, Josh. I'll do it for you. I'm singing death metal, and I'm screaming. There, I've done it.
Good work, Kane.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
That'll be $20.
Asset has been collected.
Yeah, if someone does send me $20, I will scream. How about that? That's where I'm at with it. I will not risk a conversation with my neighbor for free. But
It'll be alright.
if someone wants to bribe me, I'm open to that. Can I do a short on Bachmann model trains? Maybe? I cannot guarantee that, but...
Bebo, come back.
You have no money, it's 11 at night. Yeah, I agree. Okay, it's 12 where I live, is my point. Listen, I'm just saying, someone asked me to scream. I'm telling you what it's going to take right now, okay?
Yeah.
That's all I did. Otherwise, I'm not doing it.
I mean, I already did it for him, so...
No,
Good.
you didn't. You did. It wasn't... This is not a scream, Kane.
It's a heavy metal scream.
This is metal.
Yeah.
Asset delivered.
Oh, God. My girlfriend's over there watching the Spirit Channel on TikTok. He's in a cemetery trying to contact the ghosts. He's playing Phasmophobia IRL. So you might hear a scream, and it might be him getting mauled by a ghost. I don't know. Do I prefer CSX, BNSF, Union Pacific, or Conrail? You mean Norfolk Southern? Conrail isn't the thing. Because out of the those are the four. You would have had all four big ones if you hadn't included Conrail. Now, Conrail is a thing, but not in the same form. You mean Norfolk Southern? I have a soft spot for CSX myself. BNSF, I've heard a lot of mixed things about. Union Pacific's been pretty consistently good. Norfolk Southern, take it or leave it. Canadian National? I mean, it's hard for me to judge. Like, I don't live in Canada. I heard, or is that CPR? That might be CPR that's doing that. I know either CPR or CN is merging with another company soon, if it hasn't happened already.
En route to collect the asset.
I like how I can be my friends.
Out of context things my girlfriend is saying. If I didn't know she was playing Kirby, that would have been a really weird thing.
Oh.
She says, I like that I can eat my friends. It's like, if I didn't know she was playing Kirby, I would have a lot of questions.
Indeed.
Oh, you have a Jurassic Park Explorer car that was made by a Hot Wheels one. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Don't know how rare it is or anything, but that's cool.
Asset transportation underway.
Man, I wonder how much Ford paid to have their Ford Explorers used as the vehicles in Jurassic Park. It's an interesting question. Because in the book, they were not Ford Explorers.
There isn't a more iconic dinosaur than the T-Rex. Even people who don't know the difference between herbivore and carnivore know all about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And when you see her up close, feel her gaze, you understand why the T-Rex was the ruler of the Cretaceous period.
They just said John's a stupid stoner.
That's fair.
Confirming asset delivery.
Stop giving John gifts. I don't know. I don't think that's real. En route to pick up the asset. Asset requiring collection.
So, Kane. Kane, you there? Kane? Oh. Oh, 1 sec. He's gotta find his mic cable. Okay. No, that was 2 hours ago. Oh, he's muted. Okay, never mind. He's muted now. Alright, never mind. Okay, Kane's muted. Anyway. How dare he, that monster.
Commencing asset transit. Asset transportation in progress. Asset transportation complete.
This dinosaur, the Styracosaurus, has huge horns and a large spike similar to a rhinoceros. It also has the personality to match. It's an herbivore. It uses those horns and a beak to break into even the toughest of plants.
has been delivered.
Do 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 do.
Asset has been delivered.
This animal, though an herbivore, can intimidate most predators with its size. It's a biggie named Dreadnoughtus. I'd give this dinosaur a wide berth.
Collecting asset. Transporting asset. Acknowledging asset collection request. Asset collection request.
Hello, I'm back.
Oh my goodness, you're alive!
Sorry about that. Ugh.
Transit has commenced.
What happened?
My mom got home, so I had to go and talk with her.
You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
But you did. Okay, that's fair.
indeed.
The heck was that?
That was the pain.
Oh, it sounds like you're meowing.
I mean, I do that too. Oh god, I'm so excited as a side note for something completely unrelated to any of this. Owl House is coming,
Oh.
Owl House is coming back in October.
Hooray.
It's the final season kind of thing, or at least as much as we will get of a season 3. Still very mad
So
at Disney for this.
I mean, are they are they? Is it the creator? Is it them? Like,
It's Disney. They
Oh.
they canceled the show because what was the phrase they used? Like they basically just said it didn't fit with what we want to do, and it's like, right, you're Disney. You don't want good programming anymore. Yeah, I've noticed.
should they restore more big boys? Not without valid reason. I mean, it'd be nice, but like, they're expensive to run. You know, you'd need decent financial reasoning to actually do that. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And if it isn't there, it just isn't there, you know.
Oh, dang it. Owl House Part 3 is going to air on October 15th. That's a day after Dragon Ball Breakers launches.
Hmm.
But, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I definitely cannot wait for Dragon Ball Breakers. That's going to be really fun.
The beta was pretty fun.
I'm so excited because it just like it weirdly enough, like when I was watching it, do you know what game immediately came to mind?
What?
Strangely, not Dead by Daylight. Friday the 13th.
Well, there are different things to do.
Yeah, like there was a lot more to do on a bigger map, and then they included the one extra thing from from Battle Royales, which is the shrinking map.
To be fair, that is under the killer's control.
Oh, absolutely.
Or I guess they call it the raider, but whatever.
Yep.
Same energy.
Indeed.
Asset to be collected.
I do think raid is probably a more accurate term in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Yes, I did know that, Troy. What's going on?
Asset has been collected.
Right here. I need that. I don't know how to get to that. I tried going back and I couldn't get it. You see it? I don't know how to get to it.
Where are you, for one thing?
There you go.
Oh,
I was just
so you don't know how to get down there
yeah, and I need that.
to complete the level?
No, I just need that because I'm trying to do the puzzle pieces. It's like, I guess, like, an extra... No, no. Don't unfollow.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not too familiar with this game.
Here's your key right here. That has to do something. It has to go back or something. But there's no other way to get to it. I already went backtrack.
Yeah, I don't know, hon. You might have to come back to this level at some point with... Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Do you really need that piece specifically?
Oh, wait, go down there. Don't go up there yet. Go down.
There's a button over there.
No. What?
This.
Oh, is that a button?
Looks like it to me. You might have to hit it with a hammer or
I
something.
do. Do the B button.
Should I drop this ability, maybe? Well, I have to hit it from the side. Well, you can't... Shooting your friends at it doesn't work. But it looks like something you can hit with like a mallet.
I thought I had one of those.
It-
Like my ability.
It's probably an ability that you have to get.
No, I already had it. I already have it.
Do you know how to use it?
No, I'm pretty sure.
You just press buttons?
Oh, is that how you get abilities? You eat that.
Yeah, then press down. Did you not know how to do that? Oh, well now you...
That might work.
Yeah, because they're right next to it, so logistically it seems to make sense to me. Flamethrower isn't it? You need a mallet. You need to find an enemy with a mallet.
It's like, how much? It's on fire.
What does this guy do?
So that. Don't kill him, eat him. Get that one, get that one. Try that one.
He does not give an ability. He does, but that one doesn't work. We knew that. I'm honest. The railroad has the most sunken trains? Probably CPR. And yes, I did know that 25 were built. Don't go in that door. It's a bad, scary door. I got no. Oh! That I didn't know I could do. Okay, hold on. That might be relevant to the situation.
Throw that at it.
That did not work either. You may have to go get a different ability and come back. There you go. Yeah. Sorry, Kane.
All good.
Girlfriend was confused about Kirby. Had to help her try to work out something.
Understandable.
Frankly, I don't know how to do it either. It seems like one of those things where you have to go to a different level and come back with some ability.
Yeah.
There was a lot of controversy.
Have
about
you, by the way, have you had a chance to check out the Shadow fan dub?
It's an Archaeornithomimus. I think it puts some of those arguments to rest.
What'd you say?
Have you had a chance to check out the Shadow fan dub?
There's a part of me that just doesn't want to watch it.
How come?
Shadow's a sensitive topic. For me. And I'm afraid of how they handled it.
I mean, their dubs are always very silly and ridiculous, you know. Like,
I know that. And I'm aware of that. Logistically, there shouldn't be an issue, but I have not taken that risk because I know how I can be mentally.
like, is there a question that maybe I could answer that could give you an answer?
Do they insult Shadow?
No.
Okay.
They definitely do not insult Shadow. In fact, the character that gets the most grief thrown at them is what's his name? The villain.
Black Doom.
Yeah, him.
That's fair.
And it is. I think I'll just spoil the joke for you as to why this guy gets so much shade thrown at him. Are you ready?
Sure.
He's a toxic, parasocial streamer fan of Shadows.
Perfect.
Actually, did you listen to the song I sent you? It's the Final Haunt.
I know what song you're talking about.
Yeah, they did a version for the end of the Shadow dub, and it's basically just a song about parasocial relationships. and it's really funny. It's really cool. But yeah, like there's no real insulting towards any of the. There's no insults thrown towards Shadow. They very much clearly do not really care that much for the story involved. They're just having.
They never really did.
Yeah.
And I knew that, and, you know, it's just that game in particular sets me off real bad.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people blame Shadow for it.
It's not Shadow's fault.
No, it's not. And it's just like, stop it. Stop using that game as a reference to... No. No, 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 no.
One of my favorite jokes. Do you remember very early game where one of the military guys in the cutscene is he's just standing there, he's talking, and then he holds up his pistol and he pulls back the what do you call it, the top thing.
He cocks it?
He cocks the gun. Yes, thank you. He cocks the gun, right?
Okay.
In the dub version, one of this guy donates a bunch of bits to the President of the United States. And then after the guy leaves, he's like, "Man, I got all these points. I'm gonna have to update my audio equipment." Cocks the gun. "I've updated my audio equipment."
See, look. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Ow!
But yeah, I think that should help a lot. That there's really no reference to what people thought about the game back in the day and blaming anyone. It's just a bunch of fans.
Well, if they avoided that with Sonic 06,
Yeah.
I think I could assume that. I was just like anything to do with that game. I'm just like I'm just gonna pretend like it's not there because that's how I handle that game in general.
I do understand that. I've been in that. That's pretty much how I feel about that weird Wii U game about spaceships and motion controls and foxes in the stars. I don't know. It was a weird game that I can't remember the name of.
I never want to hear you say goodbye, just like the foxes in the sky.
Everyone knows that the only next gen Star Fox game is Starlink Battle for Atlas.
I keep forgetting that game exists until you bring it up.
Yeah, the only version that really sold it all was the Switch version. Ooh. The Switch version sold the best, basically just because it was the Star Fox version. I feel bad for Starlink because I honestly do not think the game is bad at all. I think it's really good. It's just a game that you kind of have to be into, you know? Like I don't think it's as accessible for a lot of people like Assassin's Creed can be. But I still think it's very good.
Interesting comparison.
Well, like Assassin's Creed is a game that most people can just kind of, you know, jump into. But with Starlink, do you like outer space? No. Don't play Starlink. You're not gonna have a good time, probably. Even worse. Do you like Toys to Life games right after they all died? That was the other thing, is that game is a Toys to Life. So you have to have all these different toys to customize your ship and do all this other stuff. And it's like, why would you release that? At that point, Skylanders and Lego Dimensions just finished getting killed.
It's a carnivore. So take the necessary
Listen,
precautions.
if Skylanders dies, Toys to Life is dead. Like, you people know that, right?
Transportation underway.
I bought a physical version with all the Star Fox stuff because I had to, but it was on clearance for like under $20. But
That's fair.
But I bought the digital. Collector, the digital. Not, it wasn't a collector's edition. It was the complete edition, I would call it, where it just has all of like the toy variants as software pieces that you can just shift around regardless. And I'm just like, why wasn't this just the base game? Feel like it would have done a lot better if that were just the base game.
You cold? Okay, it is pretty cold outside. That probably would have been better, Kane, I agree.
Yeah.
That's not what they did, though.
Nope.
Picking up asset.
The Star Fox content is pretty cool, though. It feels pretty dang good flying an R-Wing around a big open world area. Can I just quickly talk about how like the R-Wing is practically my all-time favorite spaceship design ever?
It's a pretty good design.
It's so good. And like even with the name that we will not talk about, I actually think that has the best R-Wing design in the series.
Which one?
Star Fox Zero.
Really?
Yeah, I love the R-Wing design. It added a really cool idea where the ship can transform into a land-based thing with a land-based version with legs and everything. It's really cool. Like in certain.
I think we talked about this before because I told you that was an idea taken from Star Fox 2.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was awesome that they brought it actually into the series officially now.
To be fair, Star Fox 2 did technically get released now.
True, but it wasn't until way later. But yeah, I love that it's there. I think that's great. And just like the animation that happens, I'm just like, oh, this is so cool. I love the R-Wing.
Dude, I think the Concorde is overrated or underrated. I mean, I think it's rated fine. Like, people think it was good and it was cool. You know, and it was. Like, not all of that is true, so I don't really have an issue with
Just when you think you've
any of that.
along comes the Dinosaurs. And believe it or not, those 2 claws you see, they actually help to feed on vegetation. For real. But, just do me one favor, okay? Don't let it near my hair with those things.
I also would still like to see, if not an HD port of just one, I'd like to see some of the older Star Fox games brought forward at some point. I think Star Fox Assault deserves a second chance because that game is excellent.
I think Star Fox Adventure deserves a second chance.
I agree. I think a lot more people would appreciate it way more
They could
now.
they could put both of them in a 2-for-1 collection.
Yeah, that'd be so great. I would also like to see Star Fox 64 3D brought forward. Because I do think that despite the voice acting changes, that version of the game looks really dang good.
Some of these animals present a real test of our abilities. Take, for instance, This latest dinosaur, the Gallimimus, it's an opportunistic omnivore that does best in groups. That alone
3DS
isn't
games
the
really do
but
look
the
good,
speed.
considering the
Gallimimus is
limited
incredibly
hardware that they
fast,
ended up
which
having to
presents
run
special
on.
challenges for the ranger teams tasked with monitoring them.
The biggest thing holding 3DS games back, I think, is resolution, more than anything.
Yeah, you gotta upscale them for proper TV.
Yeah. But like that texture pack though, for instance, that I've shared for like Ocarina of Time, like 3DS games can look really good.
Oh yeah, it sucks because like I think we can all agree the remakes of like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the 3DS were awesome.
Yeah.
And
in a lot of cases, I would argue superior.
And the Switch exists.
I know.
And it sure would be nice if we could port those forward, because I don't think, like, I don't think there's, like, you wouldn't, I can't imagine remaking them again. Like, given the art style of those games, you can't really make them look any better, can you?
Yeah.
So, you have the base game there, you just gotta fix the resolution.
And not only that, but I would also like to point out that Nintendo can't even use, they can't even
Hold on a second, Kane. What's up? You eat the enemy and you press down. If you just press the button again, he spits it back out. My girlfriend's never played Kirby before.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Kane.
They can't even use the idea of we don't have source code. If you guys cannot keep source code from your 3DS remakes,
if you lost it already, there's no help for you.
You are failures.
Like,
pack it in, okay? Done. Like, you have the source code for the 3DS versions. Like, there you go. There's your answer. Is it gonna be perfect? No. A lot of people are gonna be really annoyed that it's not the original N64 version. But you know what? Working with source code is way easier than trying to work backwards.
Here's my dealio with that idea. Okay, and this is me pushing things. But hear me out on this. Why can't they do it like the Halo collection, and have? In Halo, it was just one button, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have an extra button. Maybe they do. I don't know. But that literally switches the graphics back to the original on the fly.
I think it would depend if you had the source code, if you had the assets like available to you.
Like, I understand that might be a tall order, but Nintendo likes doing special things with their releases. Like in the Halo collection, that was a really cool feature.
Yeah.
Like, there were situations where I'm like, okay, I'm going through the remake. Well, what did this area look like again? I just hit a button, and so they're like, oh wow. And you could not only is it just cool to look back, but also like it helps appreciate the amount of work that went into making it look, modern and stuff.
Yeah.
And for the people you just mentioned who want the originals.
Yeah.
Hit a button. Ta-da! It's the original.
I definitely think that would not be possible in a lot of ways for Majora's Mask, though. But, like, for general speaking stuff, like, yeah, that'd be so good.
Why not?
Gameplay mechanics, mostly. Because the graphics are not people's issues with the 3DS version of Majora's Mask. It's the...
Oh, did they change the mechanics?
Well, here's the thing. I will be completely and brutally honest. They made them better. Everyone just whines about it.
Well, yeah, that sounds about right.
So, the Song of Double Time, the one that normally shifts you forward just 12 hours, right?
Yes.
You play that and you can literally choose what hour to jump to.
That's just a quality of life change.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think the new clock design is a lot better. I really like the new clock design on the 3DS version. What else did they change? They fixed the save system so you can actually save whenever. People complained about that.
Oh, wow!
I know, right? They changed... It's been a while since I've played Majora's Mask 3D. The one change that I absolutely agree, that is in fact a negative, the bad thing that they did, but I'd also point out, it's Nintendo's own dang fault, and I blame Nintendo for this completely. Hey, maybe we shouldn't make our consoles lack basic freaking buttons that consoles have had for the last 20 freaking years, guys.
What button was missing?
The problem is that, you remember how Zora Link swims, and then if you hold the shield button, you electrify the water?
Yeah?
Those functions are now one. If you are swimming fast, you are electrifying the water. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this.
Well, given the Switch has more buttons, I think they could easily switch that back to the way it was.
Oh, I agree, but people are using that like as a hatred towards the 3DS version, and I'm like, y'all realize that's the 3DS's fault, right?
Yeah, like that's not like they had to do what they had to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure they wouldn't have done that if they had another option.
No, they wouldn't have. It's just dumb to blame that version of the game for something that is the 3DS's fault. Ah, fuck. But yeah, like, I'm sorry, but ever since I went through and beat the 3DS version of Majora's Mask, there's no way I will ever go back to the 64 version and be okay with it. Like, it is replace levels of good of a remake, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, both remakes were excellent. There's no question. Like, they did a phenomenal job with them.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize people were complaining about them.
Yeah, there were several complaints, and most of it is just like, it's different from the 64 version. I'm like, yeah, the 64 version was made in a year. Like, there was gonna be rough patches.
It's called a remake. They're going to make quality of life changes.
Yeah.
The only negative alteration has to do with the limitations of the controls of the 3DS. It wasn't something that they necessarily would have done otherwise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they streamlined the Bomber's Notebook, so it made a lot more sense and was way easier to read and actually like check off things that you were doing in the game.
Good? That's good?
Yeah, I know. Like seriously, the Zora swimming is like the one thing that I agree with people on. Everything else.
You know what no, Kane. This is great to me. You know what's really great to me?
What?
I like people complaining about games being made easier when they're remade.
Yep.
Who would not know that they were made easier if they had done the hard version originally.
Yep.
Like, you've already done that. It was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Why would you want new players to experience that nonsense?
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't make the game more fun. That's why they took it out.
Exactly.
Because it was really stupid.
Like the biggest quality of life, the biggest thing that I will defend throughout everything. The best thing that version of the game did, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Being able to pick where you go when you play the Song of Double Time. Because understand the fact that on the first night that I can use the Song of Double Time to hop directly to 12 o'clock when Sakon decides to rob the bomb shop lady, and I could just go up and smack his face in, and then move on. That's efficiency.
Exactly, like, because there were situations in Majora's Mask, and I love that game, so don't get me wrong. I never played the remake. I only played the original. Still love that game.
Yeah.
Great game, alright? There were times where you were just kind of standing around.
Yeah, doing nothing.
Yeah, because you had to wait
And like,
to get to the right time, and I understand that was the point of the game, but there's no the notion of in a remake for them to include the option of literally skipping the standing there. I see no, because it's not even my whole thing with that stupid. You know why that's stupid? You're right. You're right. You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head, Kane. You said efficiency.
yep.
Because that type of functionality, where you have to stand there and wait, doesn't make the game hard in any way.
Yes.
It's not any more difficult. It just takes longer for no reason.
Exactly.
So why not mitigate that? Like that doesn't make the game any easier. It just makes it waste your time less.
Not only that,
Also, Exarchun, things are going swell. How are you? Go on, Kane.
and even worse is if it's your first time playing, not only do you not know about the Song of Double Time, but you're gonna have to go through and learn, just like the rest of us did, at what times things happen. Yes, I was able to jump to every single point that I remembered in this game. But yeah, that's because I played it growing up. Like, just because I, as a player, know everything and can easily shave off 6 or 7 hours of busy work because I know where to go and what times things happen, doesn't mean that makes the game worse.
It also doesn't like why would you want new players to have to deal with that? It was annoying. You know it was annoying. Why would you want that for them?
Yeah.
Because this is something. Oh god, this was something I really. He drove me nuts about this because it was just like so. Shut up, man. Frickin' Mike, AVGN Mike.
Oh yeah.
He made a video. I forget which Mario it was. It was Super Mario. I think it was the Wii U Super Mario game.
Probably New Super Mario Brothers U.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But they added the white.
Yes. Yeah.
And boy, howdy, did he just not like that.
Yeah, it was like the golden Tanuki suit that you could do like.
It was the white Tanuki suit. That's what it was.
Yes.
You know, and it basically made you invincible. You know, that's effectively what it did. Overkill, probably, but was it really that big of a deal?
Yeah. And as a correction for myself, that is New Super Mario Brother, or that is I believe New Super Mario Brothers World. Because that's the 3D one. That's the New Super Mario Brothers World 3D. But yeah, like it's so dumb to complain about something like that, because even more so, it's one power-up. It is one power-up in an entire game.
Also, I'm pretty sure you only get the power-up if you suck that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's kind of like activating Ninja Dog mode on the first level of Ninja Gaiden.
Pretty much. It's just for the really little kids can play the game and still have fun.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, back when I was a kid, we had to actually, still get good at the game. And it's like, yeah, and you know what? That actually sucked.
Yeah, games aren't fun if you're constantly getting your face beat in.
Like, it's a Mario game. It's the nice thing about those kind of platform games is that you can actually make them harder on yourself if you so choose to.
Yeah, you could play
But that's
Mario
the
Kart.
deal. That's the deal. Choice. The player gets to choose whether the game is a Christmas nightmare.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be. It should be player choice. It shouldn't be, no. These children, they must suffer. No, Mike. That's dumb. You're being dumb.
I agree 100% because it's so frustrating, and like, I think the thing that I've always been annoyed with this, and I know I've talked to you about this, but it's this idea that you can always go one direction, but never the other, and it's always annoyed me about this, where you can always go harder. But if you go easier, you are an abomination! You are the worst 0 out of 10 that you could possibly ever imagine!
You're not a true gamer.
And people wonder why I cannot stand that sort of player. Because they're obnoxious. It is mind-bogglingly obnoxious when all people want to do is to chill with a game, which is supposed to be fun. And for a lot of people...
Kane. There's no chill here. There is only getting good.
Oh, trust me. Dark Souls has been around enough for that to be a thing.
It really... It existed before Dark Souls, but I feel like it got really bad with Dark Souls.
Can I say I feel really bad for Dark Souls in this regard? Because I think it's fair to blame Dark Souls to a certain extent with this, but let's be real.
Well, I wouldn't blame the game directly.
It did start the movement. Like, it was the big catalyst to this. That is true, but just because they wanted to make that game doesn't mean anything. You know? Like, it's the fan reception that matters here for that. And, like Dark Souls just got some really bad people in its fan base, which ruined it for everyone. Just that whole kind of mentality is so frustrating.
See, that's one of the nice things I like about this game is that there's the challenge mode that's super hard. You know,
yeah.
If I really feel like getting good today. There's also sandbox mode. It's not hard at all. Quite the opposite. It is a chill, relaxing experience. I make my dinosaurs, I set up my park. You know, I don't have to stress out. And for some reason, like, it seems like there's a certain group of gamers that don't understand the notion of playing a game to relax.
Yeah, exactly. Or God forbid, even just simply put, maybe just a little, that everyone is at a different skill level or enjoyment level of any game that they want to play, and that even an easy mode can be very difficult for people. Like, God forbid, you know, come on. There are easy modes out there that have thrown me for a loop. Like, it happens sometimes. It depends on the genre, it depends on the game, but, like, sometimes you get surprised. And it doesn't matter at that point, just, like, it's annoying.
Dinosaur is an elitist. It was one of the last non-alien.
Like, I remember when safety mode was a controversy for Persona 5, and I'm like,
Now it lives to be
I don't care, it's probably the only mode I would play. I don't like Persona.
As it grinds away its teeth while eating.
No, Troy, you shouldn't skip school. Why would you even ask me that question?
There's a lesson in there somewhere.
He does ask me every night that I'm streaming. He's like, should I skip school? No, you shouldn't skip school. Go to school! Get out of here! We're talking about games and I'm playing Jurassic World. This is not more important than your education. I promise you that. Anyway, sorry, Kane. Where were we at? All right, people are idiots.
Yep. Very accurate.
Yeah, it's just, I just don't get it. Like, the culture's, especially with people interacting and flexing online, like, it's only gotten worse in that regard. Like, back in the day, you'd go to school and be like, I beat this game. Oh, I beat that game. Okay, cool. End of conversation. It wasn't, well, did you do it this challenge? Did you do that?
Oh, yeah?
Did you...
Will I beat
Which
Dark
difficulty
Souls?
did you play on?
Oh, yeah? Will I beat Dark Souls, Fox only, Final Destination, no items? Like, no one cares. Good, like, good for you.
I beat Kingdom Hearts on Proud Mode with just the Kingdom Keys. Shut the hell up. How about that?
Yeah, like, I don't care. Like, I don't think it's interesting. Like, okay. If you come...
Good for you!
Yeah. Like,
Nobody cares!
Like, if you come up to me and you're like, oh my god, I freaking did it. It was so cool. I set myself a goal and I did it. I'd be like, awesome. That's great. That's really cool. Congratulations. But if you come up to me being like, yeah, I'm awesome. Check out what I did. Yeah.
I'm a real alpha gamer.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you come up to me and try and brag like, don't care.
I'm an alpha gamer. I wish I wasn't treated as an accessory by these women.
Yeah. Oh,
They only want to be friends.
It just really, really sucks.
Where are we dropping, boys? That's still the best scene of the whole dub.
It's so good.
Have I been on an Amtrak before? Yeah, I have. Several times, actually. Yeah, Johnny says, back in my day, my friend at least gave me pointers on how to get past challenges on games. That's a good point. Like what happened to giving advice? Being like, oh, you're having trouble with that? Oh, here. No. Instead of that, it's, well, you should get good. Get better at the game. God, that was easy.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
No, it's like Pro CD put it. You think that boss was hard? I beat it in one try.
Siri, how do I delete all of Twitter?
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite one is, you think that's hard? Just wait until the
Get good.
Oh my god, it's so accurate, because, like, I don't care if you set yourself a goal and you did it and you're proud of yourself, I will congratulate you. If you try and brag about it like you're so cool because you did it, you're an idiot.
I am clearly superior. I'm an alpha gamer.
That even tends to be one of the reasons why, like the competitive genre drives me so nuts.
I mean, like, it varies.
Yeah, it definitely varies depending on someone.
Like professional gamers that are like really chill dudes.
Absolutely.
And honestly, it's more the fans that are the worst. Which actually you can kind of equate to. Really can equate to a real physical sport in that regard. Where generally speaking, in sports there are exceptions, but generally speaking, the players are chill dudes, and they'll be like, yeah, the game I thought we played well, and just we could do better in this regard, but I thought it went all right. But the fans are just like, my team is the superior, and that player's terrible. We got this player, and he's the best ever. He throws the ball with a slight curve clockwise, and yours does it a counterclockwise, and that's obviously inferior.
Yeah, it's
Hashtag NFL.
I just never understood the appeal of bragging about something like that. It's just never been, I've never understood it. Granted, I've never really been someone who's ever gotten behind a team of anything, ultimately, though, either. Like,
No, even in esports, like Addy is like team this and team that, even with League, and I'm like, can I just play mid lane? Yeah, well, Team Vespis did this, and I'm like, but I don't care, Addy. I like, I love you, you're wonderful, but also I don't care about any of that.
yeah. Like even like going past that, like even for graphics cards, for instance, like there's Team Red and Team Green, and I'm just sitting here like,
Why do we still have? Why are we having the tribal mentality about graphics cards?
I know. I'm just sitting here like, I'm team whatever fits in my computer and doesn't cover my setup ports. Is that a valid team? Because that's the team I'm on. I've never understood it. Like I prefer AMD cards software-wise, but that's for unrelated reasons. But ultimately, both of them produce graphics and play my games. I don't care what technology's in my computer as long as it works.
Yeah, it just gets ridiculous. Like, because my whole thing is still to this day, like, at the end of the day, you're bragging, you're so good at this. It's a damn game.
Yeah.
It's a game, man. Like, I'd almost say the professionals have more of a right to brag, because at least they're getting paid the big bucks to play it. Like, that's their career. And they're obviously good enough to make money off of it. And if that's the case, if you want to be a little braggy, okay, I could take that. Because obviously they're very good. They're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly millions, depending on what game we're talking about. To play a game. Good for you. Top tier. But if you're just like you or me, sitting in your room playing a video game, you want to brag about that, though.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect here. I think in a lot of respects that I'm personally having with the entire situation. Purely because you're not even making any money off of this. Oh yes, I am. I'm a streamer. How many viewers do you have? 1. And it's me. Do you see the issue now? Like...
Yeah, it's ugly.
Like, even when I was, like, religiously playing League of Legends, like, I don't recall a situation, like, the only time I ever got a little arrogant was about my Syndra play. And I didn't, like, make anyone else feel bad about it. Like, Addie plays Syndra, too. I never put her down.
Yeah.
I gave her advice, but I never put her down. That's different. And I only bragged on my Syndra play because, especially at the time, no one could play Syndra well.
Yeah.
And anytime I did play her, which was always, I literally got people being like, dude, I've never seen a Syndra that good. And I'm like, thank you. No, because it was nice. It was nice to have my dedication to that character acknowledged. But there's a difference between being proud of, you can be proud, but don't be... How about this? Don't be a jerk about it. Can we agree on that? Like, I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think that's unreasonable.
I agree. There's no reason that like, that level of arrogance has to seep into just general gameplay. Just, like, relax and play a game. Come on.
No. No, hold on. I gotta let the other team know that I think they're gay. It's It's very important. It's very important they know that I think that.
And I hate to bring it up again, because I know. But it is exactly how I feel about every time, like, some person who's never been a Zelda fan before talks about how Breath of the Wild is how Zelda should have been.
Ugh.
You know, like that kind of thing. Just like, I'm not against Zelda moving forward. I am against people ignoring 30 years of history in favor of turning Zelda into something it's never been.
Oh, God, Troy, I have every brand under the sun in terms of model trains. Like, you have no idea. Yeah, people who act that way about... Like, the problem is Breath of the Wild isn't even a bad game. Like, it's just... It's different, but people are like, no, it should remain different. And it's like, why... No. That's... You don't have to... You can do different things. You don't have to replace what worked, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not like the problem I personally would have with it is that the implication therefore exists that the older games are not good anymore.
Yeah.
Which is wrong in so many ways.
Yeah. And you know what? It's even the same thing with Fire Emblem right now. Like, I understand a lot of people like Three Houses, but it is vastly different to anything that most Fire Emblem people are familiar with. Like, I do not.
I mean, the core gameplay is still there.
Yeah.
It's just the RPG elements have been like amplified to a significant degree, and it looks like the new game's going to do that again. But to be honest, like, my whole thing is that why can't we just do both?
I agree with you, because, like, if Fire Emblem were to just make, like, the Three Houses thing a bit of a side kind of series with that idea, because, like, I don't think you can do both gameplay styles in a game like Fire Emblem Three Houses. You would have to make two different games. Which is fine, but the thing is that no matter what, Three Houses is vastly different from Awakening, you know?
The difference is that there's more padding, actually some actual gameplay between the missions.
The issue is that it is padding. That's the problem.
I mean, I liked it because the interactions with the characters and stuff, like, it felt... I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it because, you could still...
I don't think it's bad.
No, it's not. I don't mind it, but but it's the same deal with, like, Breath of the Wild, where it's like, this is good, but we don't have to pretend like the older games were bad all of a sudden.
Exactly. Like Three Houses is vastly different, so I don't think that, like, every future Fire Emblem game needs to copy it. Like, you can do an experiment here and there, and if it works, okay, cool, but, like, I know it's such a meme where it's like, but, like, oh yeah, the fan, I don't know how to phrase this meme, but it's basically like, well, yeah, who cares about the older fans that just don't want change? No, it's not that they don't want change, it's that they don't want to be treated like they don't matter.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's not so much... Because, again, I've loved Fire Emblem for a long time.
Yeah.
I love Awakening. I love... Fates is my favorite, which is already weird.
Yeah.
But I really like Three Houses. Like, it was a little bit different, but, I was like, this is fun. It's a good game. I played it more than once. Like, it's a good game. That doesn't mean that the other games are suddenly terrible. Like, they're not. We can still do those. We can still do stuff like that. Like, I think the problem part of the issue, and hear me out on this.
Mhm.
Well, before I answer that, let me answer a question. Have I ever thought of doing a train collection video? It's been a thought. I just haven't really had the opportunity to do that yet. Anyway, hear me out on this, Kane. Part of the problem, I think now, and this is especially the case with Fire Emblem, is it's the technology that's at their disposal all of a sudden. Because, at least in Fire Emblem's case, prior to Three Houses, with the exception of, I mean, well, back in the day, obviously, but generally they were working with games that had limited ability. The consoles that they were operating on were limited in what they could do, right?
I think in most cases you're probably right with like the NES, the Super Nintendo,
NES, and then they went handheld. And the GameCube games were a bit of an exception, but they still didn't stray too far.
Yeah.
But now, with the death of the 3DS, they have just the Switch, and the Switch is a very capable system.
Yeah.
And I think the devs are torn because, like, they could just do a typical bog standard Fire Emblem experience. But I think they want to do more because the console can.
I can understand that, and I think it's really sad that makes sense, because one of the things that I've been really angry with at gamers in general, because to me it just feels entitled in a way, which is...
Gamers are being entitled? No!
I know, right? It's weird. I've never heard of that before. But it's this idea that everything needs to one-up what came before it. Like...
There's always... I mean, it's not just gamers necessarily expecting that, it's also devs want to challenge themselves.
Which I think is fine to a certain extent, but what drives me nuts... For example, nobody liked Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. It is my all-time favorite Star Ocean game. I've never liked the second story, controversial take. I really did not like The Last Hope. I love Integrity and Faithlessness. The game is short. The game's combat is fast and fluid. The areas are big, but not gigantic. The combat is relatively seamless, going from field to combat mode back to field. It's a very smooth experience. The side quests are, a bunch of them are listed on a quest board. There's so much efficiency in that game that I like. And for the most part, it had a very forward-moving story. Like, everything... This... Integrity and Faithlessness is the farthest I've gotten in any Star Ocean game, and I think it's because they tried to streamline it a little bit. And I think that they did a very good job on that, but no, everyone's too busy crying about it because it's not as good as the second story. And I'm like, okay, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is the best Star Ocean game ever. It is my favorite. And, dear people in the world, learn English.
Just like me in Fire Emblem Fates. Like, I'm not going to say this is the best Fire Emblem game ever. This is my favorite, though.
Exactly. Exactly. And again, dear world, learn English. Because I think you need to go back to school and understand what the phrase favorite means. Because if I hear another person try and yell at me again, I'm going to smack them. I love this game a lot. And the reason being is because it was simple. It was easy to follow, easy for me to start up, get into, and enjoy. A simple game does not mean bad. And that's what everyone in the gaming industry feels like they're trying to imply. If a game has a simple set of mechanics, oh, it's garbage. Everyone knows that Dark Souls is so much better. And I'm
you know what annoys me about that?
Hmm.
You know, one of the reasons I didn't like Dark Souls?
Why?
That game mechanics are dirt simple. dirt simple.
It was one of the only things I actually liked about Dark Souls.
Oh, I know you. I'm sure you did. I'm sure. But like for that to even be an issue, like, guys, Dark Souls is one of the most dirt simple combat systems I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. You know, I didn't like it because of that. But
it's not a bad system.
But it's it obviously worked for plenty of people. But like, you're complaining that this game has mechanics that are too simple. Why you can't complain about it here and not acknowledge it over here? Okay, it's where I'm.
Exactly, you hit the nail on the head with that. Like, it's such a double standard. And even more so, it's why I hate Kingdom Hearts 3. It's why I can't stand that game. Because they just threw everything at the wall. Like, everything is so overtly complicated, yet ridiculously simple.
By contrast, I love Kingdom Hearts 3. See where you see the disconnect here.
Okay, so here's my issue with Kingdom Hearts 3 is that the reaction command is now everything.
No, we've been over this before. I understand, Kane. I'm not getting on your case for that.
Oh yeah.
I'm simply stating that I tend to like more complicated systems. Like I have a limit, but in terms of action games, I love like Ninja Gaiden Black especially. Like, you know, people are like, oh, Dark Souls is so difficult. No, Ninja Gaiden Black was hard. But you know what? Ninja Gaiden Black was also pretty complex with its mechanics. Multiple weapons with completely different combos. A variety of jumping and wall running and like just so much going on that you could. The reason why I enjoyed Black, despite how difficult it was because I didn't feel like the game was deliberately kneecapping me to make the game more difficult. You know, even in the hardest possible situation in that game, I still felt like I am Ryu Hayabusa, and I am capable of doing this. Whereas in Dark Souls, I always feel like I'm just a normal dude being destroyed. Because there's no empowerment. Like, I don't feel like I am at all capable of being on this quest at any time. It's like you put me in control of a random NPC.
I think what annoys me the most about Dark Souls, by the way,
I'm not a chosen one. I am not a highly trained ninja. I am not a half demon. I am not a demigod. I'm just a dude. And maybe that sounds appealing to some people, but I play games, if I'm playing an action game, to feel a little bit special. And I wasn't special in Dark Souls.
Yeah, I understand that. I feel bad because I agree with you in that regard for Souls, but I also disagree because I can see what you mean. But the thing I liked about the idea of Souls, because I would compare Dark Souls to a certain extent to the way that Mega Man X functions for me. It is an easy, simple set of mechanics. And yeah, that's all you get for the whole game. But that just means you have to learn those mechanics and use them to win. I don't think it's as good as Mega Man X, but...
Hold on. I hear you, King. Firm rebuttal, though. Yeah, it's true. You get a simple set of mechanics in Mega Man X. Also, you are a super fighting robot with a charge gun and a slide, and you can freaking jump up walls. This is not the same situation.
To be fair, never said it was. Just the idea of being given like 5 moves, and that's it for the entire game, with a few small exceptions. And that's all you get, and then you have to use those 5 moves to conquer the whole game. I am fine with that on paper. I have no issue with that. If you're down for that, go for it. My issue with Souls is that the leveling system is so slow that, to me, I just don't feel any different. Like, I got to about level 15, and I didn't feel anything different. I tried hard to get into Dark Souls, and I couldn't.
I did too. I gave it 2 separate chances, and I just felt kneecapped. Like I felt like I was like the game was deliberately restricting me. Like,
you know what game I think is worse at that than Dark Souls?
what?
And it's and dear chat, understand that I am someone who likes to hang out with my friends and have a good time with them and enjoy myself. So for what I'm about to say, stop. And just understand that that is what I'm saying. Elden Ring. Because the multiplayer is garbage in Elden Ring, and I hate it. Every time I look at it, I want to scream.
Can I interest you in a rousing game of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I mean, at least that one lets you go in right away.
Right, exactly. Like that. I was not interested. I haven't been interested in anything from the Souls developers just because of the way they make their games.
Same.
It's just, you know, I was surprised that you even got Elden Ring personally.
Not only were you probably surprised that I got Elden Ring, I bet you were surprised that for the most part, I've kind of been enjoying myself.
Well, I mean, I have been told repeatedly that I should give the other games a chance because they don't play like it's a similar concept, but as Matt put it, and this was months ago, but as Matt put it, you are way more capable in the other games.
I will say this about...
Like Sekiro,
yeah,
way more equipped to deal with the situations. Still hard as nails, but not as restrictive as Souls.
I will tell you this. The only reason I was okay with playing Elden Ring and buying it is not only did I see gameplay, but I knew that it was their newest game, and hearing people talk about it, it is the most accessible, modern way to play a From Software title. Like,
I see. Here's where I have a problem is, and maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. It might just be me. Because Sekiro actually looked kind of fun to me, right? I saw footage of Elden Ring, and I looked at it, and I'm like, this looks like Dark Souls.
It is a lot like Dark Souls, but it...
No!
Okay, let me ask you, which Dark Souls games did you play?
Does it matter?
Yes.
The first one.
Is that it?
Yeah, why would I play anymore?
3 is vastly superior in terms of general polish. I know this because I've compared them. It is,
I mean, I believe you.
It is
I believe you.
vast
I do.
improvement. I'm not saying it's enough to convince you, but I am saying that at the very least, you are right that it looks a lot like Souls. But in Elden Ring, it is way better than Dark Souls controlled back then. And with the amount of weapon variety and the open world and the fact you can do all this stuff and that you can tackle it how you want, you are a lot more capable in this game than you ever were in any of the Souls games. That is true. But on that note, I will say, I know that you're not really a fan of open world games, so I'm not sure you would enjoy Elden Ring for that reason too.
Yeah.
It is fully open world.
Broken glass looking pretty delicious right now.
That's where I understand your point for that. You know, like, no amount of gameplay enhancements is really going to help it if you're not if you're not down for the open world part. So
I never am.
that's
Don't like wandering. Don't make me wander. Don't do it. Don't do it. But in Skyrim, no, don't make me do it. But what about Fallout? No. But don't you want to look? No, I don't want to just look around a world. I want to actually do something.
You know, Josh, can I just briefly say for a hot second and just say, you know, even if people refuse to play games with me, you know, one thing I 10 times out of 10 always try
First
to
of all, I just played. I bought you Ninja Turtles so we could play together. So
no, I'm not
shut
talking that. I'm not talking that. But you know what's something that I still pride myself on, even when people decide not to play things with me?
What?
At least I was honest with them about it. I'm not gonna try and trick you into playing Elden Ring. I literally
straight you're not.
told you it was open world. Like, I know you're not down for that. I don't want to trick you into spending a ton of money on a game.
Hey, to their credit, Duck and Teddy didn't try that with me either. They knew better.
Yeah. So like even if you, Addie, Teddy, Duck, or anyone, if I tell them something that they're like, I don't want to play it now, I'm like, okay, well that's fine. At least I was honest about it.
Maybe I want to sit here and make dinosaurs. Did you ever think about that?
Oh yeah, you're doing it right now.
Hold on, Kane. Hold on, Kane. But I don't want to play Elden Ring. I want to sit here and make dinosaurs.
Yes. I hope that comic page is canon because that's wonderful. But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. It's so ridiculous.
Hey, you were just asking for people to be honest. He was being pretty honest.
I know. It's so funny.
Alright. I gotta take off.
Later, stream.
Thanks for hanging out, stream. Thanks for hanging